A few weeks ago, my girlfriend called me super panicked and said, Scrim is in the hospital. Scrim is her little black cat, and honestly, I didn't really understand the whole pet thing for a long time. I didn't grow up with pets, and I especially didn't understand cats. But a few months after we had dated, somehow his dumb face was my phone wallpaper. And so I packed a bag and went over. And honestly, it was really, really stressful because the doctors didn't know what was wrong with him. His kidney levels were triple what they should have been. So they kept him overnight in the vet. So he got to engage in luxuries like keeping dirty dishes in the sink, eating a meal fully in peace, and leaving the bathroom door closed because that's where his litter box is. But it really, really sucked. The following day, the doctors called us and said, we still don't know what is wrong, but he's really sweet and everything seems fine, so you can monitor him at home. So we were out of the door in a minute. When we got him, and we let him out of his carrier, he didn't even meow, made no noise, and usually he makes noise for about 30 minutes. And he just curled up in a little ball and just sat on the couch. Wasn't interested in his string, wasn't interested in food, wasn't interested in water, wasn't interested really in us. And so I went full of type A, and I made sure that my girlfriend was eating and drinking water, making sure that the cat was getting the medication on time, and that his water bowl was full even though he wasn't drinking any of it. I would go on grocery runs, and I was just in my head preparing for the worst. And I was going to really crazy sources of information. I was looking up podcasts on preemptive dealing with grief, on pet's death, and all this stuff, right? And so I worked myself up so much that both of us just passed out. I think she was tired of me being type A, and I was tired of me being type A. And so Scrim hopped up on the bed, and he was just laying with us. We pass out. And in the middle of the night, hear a loud crash. And we both shoot up, just bang our heads together, and Scrim is nowhere to be found. And in that moment, I thought we'd lost him. I thought that his kidneys were failing, and he had fallen off the bed, and that was that. And all of this preparation that I'd done of, stages of grief, blah, 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 all of that went out the window. It was total pandemonium. We were throwing blankets everywhere, throwing clothes, calling his name, Scrim, 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 nowhere to be found. Girlfriend goes in the living room, turns on the light, and she holds out a hand to me and says, get on the bed. Get on the bed. Then I thought, he's gone rabid now. This is a feral cat we're dealing with. He's gonna hurt us. He's gonna hurt me, I guess. And she looks at me and she says, the only other time this has happened, and then she screams, jumps out of the way, I scream, I jump into the wall, and then I see a tiny black shape just run underneath the bed. And I think, what is going on? He's gone crazy. His kidneys are failing. And our life is ending. And she holds her hand up to her face, and Scrim very calmly just pitter-patters right out from underneath the bed. And out of his mouth is a really long tail. She takes a trash bag, grabs the mouse, runs up. I start showering Scrim with praise. We're talking biblical here. It got poetic. I got the bag of treats out. And then my girlfriend, she comes back in the door and she says, give him a lot. I said, don't worry, I'm about to Pavlov the shit out of this cat. And so Scrim was happy. There was no sleeping after that point. So we were just up 4 a.m. listening to police sirens wail in Hell's Kitchen, Scrim very calmly sleeping between us. And in the calm of it all, I realized that I had prepared so much for this moment of grief, of death, right? Thinking that it would help, and that in a final dramatic moment, I would know what to do, I would be prepared for how I felt. But really none of that preparation, steeling myself up, for what? For nothing. Because when the moment happens, it's going to suck, no matter what, and there's no getting around it. And so Scrim is okay now. He is probably going to be with us for a few years less than we thought. But he's just a happy little guy. And I think both of us are just focused on enjoying the time with him that we have left. Thank you.